Hey everybody, it's Maddox / Velocituber back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about my top 5 rankings at Six Flags Over Georgia. This is my home park and I love it so much, and I'm so glad what the new chain is doing to it. And I just hope that we get a new roller coaster, just like this Premier Rides launch coaster that you might have seen in my last video, but this is what I do think the park could get next. But moving on from that, we're going to get started with my top 5 roller coasters at Six Flags Over Georgia. And before we get this video started, I just want to say, like and subscribe for more amazing content. Starting off the list at number 5 is Daredevil Dive. This Beyond Vertical Drop is absolutely insane, especially those dive loops and the Immelman. They provide awesome hang time. I will say this ride is a little underwhelming and fits in that Six Flags Over Georgia drop-off category, where it's the top 2 and then it drops off to all these rides that go 50 miles an hour, which I think is really funny. But other than that, this ride is pretty great. That hang time filled Heartline roll is awesome. And honestly, I think this is an underrated ride, given the fact that that drop and the Heartline roll is awesome. This airtime hill gives no airtime, but there's some decent theming for a Six Flags roller coaster, and you don't really see many Gerslauers other than the Pandemonium spinners in other Six Flags parks. So I would say this is a win for Six Flags Over Georgia. Going down to the Crackexel Canyon section of the park is probably one of the biggest letdowns of 2026. This ride will not be opening until the 2027 season, which is very unfortunate because I actually like this ride. Even though it's number 4, this ride has spectacular airtime, both ejector and floater. That speed hill is awesome ejector, and those spikes are amazing floater. And the park was just missing a launch coaster. I just wish, though, the park got a full-scale launch coaster instead of a swing launch. This ride, even though it only has 20 car trains with one train, because it's a shuttle coaster, the line moves relatively fast, and I never really have a problem waiting in it. I will say this is a bit of a letdown because I was expecting more water to be splashed onto the train because they advertised it as a water ride, but this is more of a roller coaster with a water feature. And this is a way I'm going to be ranking the roller coasters if it's worth to wait in X amount of time in a line. In this ride, I wouldn't say I would wait for it for 40 minutes at max. Our next roller coaster is in the DC area of the park, and this roller coaster is Batman at number 3. Now, get me right, I love airtime, but I'm a sucker for intensity, especially that upward helix on Batman. And those 2 loops and the 0G roll are wild. I just can't get it out of my mind how this is the best running Batman clone. And I feel lucky that this is my home park's Batman. I'm going on a trip to Six Flags Great Adventure soon, and I can't wait to see how this Batman clone holds up to the others. And this is why it's in number 4, and it deserves this spot for being so intense. Even I would wait in this line if it had a 60-minute wait. That is just how good and intense this roller coaster is. Don't skip it when you're at the park. Next up on the list in the number 2 spot is Twisted Cyclone. This RMC conversion of Georgia Cyclone is the definition of tiny but mighty. If you ride this roller coaster in the back row, that drop catches you off guard so much. I don't think I would have ever said this in my life, but that airtime is so strong, you kind of gray out. And then you go into the first of its kind, reverse cobra roll. This element is really floaty feeling. And then you go into this ejector wave turn. Then you get even more ejector going in this little step up than you do, and even more on this step down if you sit in the back. I will say this roller coaster is so floaty feeling, and it has good pops of ejector, and I absolutely love that. This ride is definitely a definition of short but sweet. Now it's time for the best coaster in the park, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's Goliath at number 1. This ride has it all. It has floater, it has flowjector, and it has ejector. Those last 3 bunny hills eject you out of your seat. And no one talks about that drop. I will say This ride is a bit rattly, but if you sit on an inside seat, it's perfectly fine. This is the definition of good old B&M. And this is how B&Ms that are 20 years old should feel, not ones that are 2 years old. I'll bring up a clip right now. I will say one of the only reasons this ride is above Twisted Cyclone for me is because of the ride length. This ride length is just the perfect amount of ride length. It's not too long to where everything is boring, but it's not too short to where you feel like you need to do it again. Which you should do it again because it's a roller coaster, but you know what I mean. I went to Six Flags 2 weeks ago, and I got the last train of the night on a 90-ish degree day, and I will say that thing was zooming. I wish the trim brakes weren't on, though. That's the only thing that kills this ride. Because you could get so much ejector over that one airtime hill, but they decide to turn the trims on. I wish they could be like the Voyage at Holiday World and do one day of no trims. Well, that's all, folks. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe so the YouTube algorithm doesn't screw me over. And stay tuned for more awesome videos like the Six Flags Great Adventure and Nickelodeon Universe vlog coming out soon. So stay posted. Like, subscribe, comment, share the video with your friends, and make sure to tag everyone you know to watch this video. Everybody, this is Velocituber signing out. Bye.
Scuba, scuba.